Greetings all! Today, we will be examining the uncommon grass ghost-type Pokemon Pumpkaboo and its rare evolution Gourgeist, the two collectively known as the Pumpkin Pokémon. Though they might look quite adorable on their own, the members of the Pumpkaboo family are unique specters that can certainly make the fall season more than a bit spooky with fun-filled frights.
Pumpkaboo have fairly simple forms, with an orange-pink pumpkin base and a large brown hard rind capped to them that splits into several frills that curve upwards away from the lower torso. They can float in this state, and there are two eye holes on their lower form and two main eyes on their upper form, shining brilliantly with a yellowish-orange glow and framing their small mouth and protruding upper canines. Their evolved form, Gourgeist, have a brown-based body with a jack-o'-lantern face carved into their lower body, still shining brightly against the night. Their main torso sprouts upwards from the base as a brown fleshy stalk with yellow eyes and mouth, the top being adorned with a curved brown and pink stem section as well as a mop of pink hair which they use and manipulate in place of hands. Pumpkaboo, along with their contemporary Phantomp in both of their evolutions, are strange creatures in that they are among the few known cases of wandering spirits possessing plants in order to tether themselves at least partially to the physical world the rest of us reside in. The life they lead with this status is one of intrigue and fascination, as while they do start off rather ghostly, in the case of Pumpkaboo at least, death has the effect of giving them the chance to reincarnate when they evolve. In other words, their evolutions are actually living creatures that have been reborn through the only truly confirmed cases of reincarnation in the Pokemon world. Under normal circumstances, because both of these families end up depending on photosynthesis to produce a lot of their energy, it can take many years and sometimes even decades for them to build up enough energy to evolve. Due to the unique position interaction they have with their container, however, when these creatures do evolve, they fully incorporate the living container into their forms, becoming living organisms as a result. Despite this, however, these creatures still retain the power to use and channel spiritual energy, so they retain their normal type assignment.
This process can take a great deal of time to happen, but it is noted that the process can be heavily accelerated by exposing them to the energy fields found within trading devices.
In evolving and becoming a living creature themselves, both of these species acquire some interesting moves that they normally could never learn. In the case of Gourgeist, evolution allows them to use their container to deliver powerful attacks that are beyond the physical capabilities of their pre-evolved form, mainly the Phantom Force, Moonblast, and Explosion attacks, their form of which pairs well with their signature trick-or-treat technique, which allows them to put a curse on others that temporarily renders them ghost types. It is also noted that the size they wear as a Pumpkaboo has a massive effect on their stats, as the larger the Gourgeist is, the lower its base speed is, and the higher its base attack and HP stats are. This can enable the largest members of the species to attack with surprising force in battle, though they still don't have the raw, destructive power of similar Pokemon like Trevenant.
Their connection to holidays like Halloween and their capacity to find and reveal treats hidden in the land around them allows these creatures to have pick up and frisk as base abilities, while those that can keep themselves awake and burning the spiritual fire inside of them over long periods of time can also have insomnia as a hidden ability.
In terms of stats, in looking at Gourgeist, it must be noted that it is hard to give a general analysis on value alone, as the base stats of these creatures depend heavily on their size. With that said, though, it is noted that they have surprisingly sturdy bodies to them and can take a hit fairly well, so their base defense stat is above average for a fully evolved grass and ghost-type Pokemon at all sizes. In looking further, it can be seen that the largest two sizes have above average base HP stats for a fully evolved grass-type Pokemon, and the biggest size has above average base HP for a fully evolved ghost-type Pokemon. Attack is above average for both types in the largest two sizes, and speed is above average for the smallest two sizes, giving them some noticeable room in terms of combat attributes that can be used to one's advantage. Pumpkaboo are the result of spirits being stored in plant vessels until they can be moved on into the afterlife. It is unknown why this is the case, but some speculate that it might have something to do with the general association their plant of choice, the pumpkin, has with Halloween. As autumn descends upon the regions they call home, pumpkin patches start to pop up as farmers prepare for the upcoming Halloween season, making this a time of peak activity for them. In order to get the energy they need to survive, these creatures need to scare others and absorb their emotional energy, which they can then process and convert into spiritual energy for sustenance. Over the past several hundred years, the wandering spirits that comprise Pumpkaboo have made the strong connection and have in turn become tethered to it, possessing pumpkins before they can be harvested and then using their own energy to sustain the plant after it is detached from its parent stalk.
These creatures are usually dormant in the day and are impossible to discern from regular pumpkins at this point. But as soon as night falls, they become restless and start to wander around the surroundings, searching for any lost traveler to scare for a bit of energy.
While they might not look like nice creatures to be around in these regards, Pumpkaboo are actually quite friendly and will gladly return to the individual they have scared and try to calm them down and make them happy again, especially in the case of small children. It is said that this friendly disposition has also made Pumpkaboo expert scouts when it comes to retrieving lost spirits, as they can easily calm their fellow friends and allow them to move on to the spirit realm, though what happens after that is anybody's guess. It is lastly noted that, just like the plants they possess, Pumpkaboo are known to exist in 4 different sizes, each with a bit of a trade-off. As their size increases, the base speed stat of these creatures decreases slightly, while the base HP stat increases a little bit, and vice versa. These attributes will be even further amplified in evolution, so trainers need to be aware that the size of their Pokemon will ultimately decide the overall performance in battle, as well as the fact that larger ones tend to be created where more spirits gather together, and tend to prefer people and children of about the same size as them proportionally. Although Gourgeists are technically considered to be living organisms, they still tend to rely more on spiritual energy for sustenance than anything else, as they are effectively nocturnal and do not like having to show themselves in the middle of the day when the sun is bright. At night, these odd plants will wander around mountain trails and towns, singing a wonderful melody that is said to be one of the most beautiful things one can possibly hear from any type of life form. However, you should not be led astray by this sound, as what sounds like a melodious chant is actually these creatures randomly casting curses everywhere they go, being especially active on full moons. It is said that anyone that hears their lilting voice will have bad luck for several years, and will even have a bit of time shaved off of their lifespans, with the resulting loss in energy being absorbed by the Gourgeist in question. In some cases, these creatures will go even further and capture people that they can sneak up on, knocking on doors in the darkness of a new moon and chanting a powerful curse as they hold onto their prey with their hair-like arms, joyfully singing and smiling as they watch the victim literally have the life drained from them.
It seems that these creatures are hardwired to find joy in the misery of others, though what has led to this sharp departure from the personalities of Pumpkaboo is still a relative mystery.
Nonetheless, this makes Gourgeists much more dangerous than they might otherwise look, in turn making them a strong ghost type to fear in battle. The only real problem that these creatures have in the wild, aside from being chased by herbivores every now and then, is that they are extremely fearful of other ghost type Pokemon, especially the members of the Ghastly family. As such, keeping around a member of this noxious family is the only real way to ward off the attacks of these strange creatures, though they can still be a bit of a pain to fight in large numbers, such as an ambush in a pumpkin patch.
I sort of feel lucky to not be all that scared of most ghosts, and these strange little creatures are a big reason why. Sure, they do have some scary powers to them, and can be a hassle to fight depending on their size, but they are all so cute and fun to play with. Well, at least at a young age. I don't like Gourgeist being all that close to me, as I'd like to live as long as possible, thank you. But they are nonetheless quite the friendly bunch and help make spooks and scares a lot more palatable to younger children. I remember we came across some on our children's first Halloween. Normally, you'd think that children could be easily scared by such things. And you would be right. But these plants are very gentle with children, and it was fun seeing a bunch of Pumpkaboo come out of a nearby pumpkin patch and just float around the 3 of them. Later in the night, as we were walking back home, we even got a few Gourgeists to wave at them without singing. They can be troublemakers, but as far as these ghosts go, they are a treat for all ages and can make for a good time in the dark of the night.
While they may come in a range of sizes and strengths, the members of the Pumpkaboo family are nonetheless creatures known for a few tricks here and there and some frights that thankfully won't go too far. You might have to pick the size you want carefully in order to make the most of whatever strategies you have in mind with them, but as a whole, they can still be tough nuts to crack and worth taking on with great offensive power if possible.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure that you still keep your distance once they reach a reincarnated state. They might look cute and fun to play with and be a blast among children, but you might find yourself in a pickle if they decide to hug you and sing you a serenade sure to lift your spirits, and lift them right out of you a lot sooner than intended.
Thank you all for watching this video. It is always a pleasure to help teach others about the world of Pokemon and the many facets of it that exist in both the world we call home and the world they call home. If you'd like, please leave a comment and subscribe and ring the bell to this channel to get regular updates on content and anything else that might be going on. You can find me and my written work on DeviantArt under the name Titus, and be informed of information and content uploads on my Twitter page and my Patreon page. Donations are always welcome. Always remember, the world of Pokemon is a vast and varied place, and there's no telling what secrets might be hiding just around the corner. So keep watch, stay vigilant, and always prepare for the unexpected. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.